Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together how to peace out. And we learn that we have his peace. It does, he doesn't have a button and God doesn't turn it off when we're asleep. His peace just remains constant and sure, and all we have to do is figure out how to let it rain. It doesn't mean things don't come at us. It doesn't mean that everything's hunky-dory all the time. It just means that in the middle of the mess, we still have his peace. In the middle of this mess, we still have hope. In the middle of the mess and the struggles and the trials and the temptations and all of this of life, because stuff's still going to be going on, we have the peace of God to hold on to no matter what. That's amazing to me. He doesn't click out when things are bad and go, I don't do bad stuff. I don't do hospitals. I don't do sickness. I don't do that, whatever your trial is. And he also doesn't say, oh, you're on the mountaintop. You don't need me right now. I'll be back when you need me. No, he stays. I love that he doesn't just abandon us when it's good, abandon us when it's bad. He just stays with us. Hey, tonight we're starting the study of James. So you might want to sign up for the class if you want. It includes, it's $25. You get the book. I'll mail the book to you. Get it in usually a couple of days. And I can also give you the ebook so that you can have it ready for tonight if you want. And then we'll go for 6 live classes. You do not see live classes very much anymore. They're all online, and you go to that there and you just go watch the video. This is an interactive live class we're doing. 6 weeks worth of it out of this obstacle course we call James, because he's going to ask some hard questions. I'm going to ask some hard questions of myself and of all of us, and we'll talk about them. So sign up for this class, or just go grab this study guide if you want. That's cool too. Study the Bible. I just want you to hide the word in your heart. However you need to do it. Go to the Bible study class, studying in the morning, going to school, Bible school. I don't care where or how or when. Just want to see all of us putting his word in our heart, right? So I was thinking today how practical God is. Now, we've talked some about how, a few weeks ago, I think we talked about when they came to the Red Sea, God had already planned the path in the Red Sea before they got there, right? He didn't bring them to the Red Sea and then go, oh, I forgot about the Red Sea. I forgot. No, he already had a plan. He already had a way he was going to take them through the Red Sea, across a dry riverbed miraculously to the other side, and he was going to use that same Red Sea to wipe out their enemy. Those who were chasing them, right? So that's a miracle and beyond. But this morning I was thinking about something else and how practical God is. And I started thinking about it because I was looking at Isaiah 43. And in verse 19 it says, behold, I will do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. You're going to know about it. He's like, you're going to know what I'm doing. Okay, just stay tuned for what I'm doing. I will make a road in the wilderness and rivers, plural. I like that that's plural, in the desert. As I read that, I thought, that's interesting, because he didn't say I'm going to make a road in the desert and run rivers through the wilderness. See, most of when I went hiking in Louisiana, the Kostachey Forest, and it was a wilderness area, and when I got there, I was like, oh, I was expecting desert, kind of like the Great Plains here in the Salt Plains here in Oklahoma. I was thinking that's what a wilderness was going to be like, right? And then when I got there and hiked it, it was a little it was a 10-mile hike, but the trail was 7 miles. But it was, and when I got there the first time, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool, there was rocks, there was hills, there were valleys, there were springs running, little springs running through, and creeks running through, but there was lots of wildlife, there was lots of vegetation, and I was like, that's a wilderness? I thought a wilderness was dry, but a wilderness is not necessarily dry. It's just not inhabited by human beings. It's just not tamed. It's just, so there can be briars, there can be big bushes, there can be all this undergrowth that make it hard to go through. So that's why God says, I'm going to make a highway or a pathway through the wilderness, right? So that way you can go through it. He didn't say, I'm going to pull you out and drop you on the other end. He did say, I will make a pathway through the wilderness so that you're not overcome with snares and thorns and thistles and vines that want to grab and wrap around your ankles and make you trip. And he's going to make a smooth path, basically a trail through the wilderness. And then he says, I'm going to make rivers in the desert. Well, the desert, you don't need a path through the desert. You can see. You can go any way you want. You can see. But you do need water to make it through the desert, right? Isn't it interesting that, and I know this was figuratively speaking here, Isaiah is prophesying. And if you remember the first part of Isaiah 43, he says that when we go through the fire, he'll be with us. When we won't be burned. That when we go through the flood, he'll be there. That he's called us by name. We're going to go through the rivers. We're going to go through the waters. We're going to go through the fire because he's with us. This is the same chapter. Now he's saying, I'm going to make a road through the wilderness, through the really rocky, hard, difficult places to try to work your way through in life. I'm going to make a path. And it's probably found, most of the guidelines are found right here. You always got to have a map. When you go hiking, especially way out like that, you got to have a map. Even if you don't know how to read it. The map is necessary because you need to try to figure out where you are, try to figure out where you're going, try to figure out where you've been, and we want to make it from one end to the other, right? And this is our map for the wilderness areas of our lives. Because we're going to climb some rocks. We're going to have vines wrap around our ankles. We're going to be looking for water. We're going to be working through so many different things. Life can feel like a wilderness sometimes, right? It doesn't mean you're all by yourself there all the time, every time. But God has a way. This word is going to give us the instructions, the map to work. It's going to make that way through the wilderness. In the desert, that's when we're dry. We're thirsty. God, we need you. I need something in my life. I'm not going to make it through this if you don't help me, right? And the desert is dry and horrible. It can be you feel parched and you feel thirsty and you think you're going to die, and you will die if you don't have water. In the wilderness, you may die if you can't figure out that path. In the desert, you're going to die if you will die. If you don't have water, you will die. And I love this, that God was practical. He's like, I'm going to make a path through the wilderness. I'm going to give you water in the desert. So no matter what you're going through in life, if you're maybe it's lush and green, but you still got to get through it, right? There's still a process of working through, of climbing over, ducking under, working your way through all this vegetation, all this crazy stuff that's going on around you. Or if you're in the desert and you feel dry, and you're alone, and your head, you get a little lightheaded because you're like, I need something, right? And no matter what we're going through, he's got what we need. Isn't that amazing that he's so practical? He didn't say, I'm going to give you all the water you need for the wilderness, but I don't know what you're going to do in the desert. I don't know. But if you think about that, Jesus went through Samaria just to tell a woman, I am the living water. If you drink from me, I'm going to give you living water, and if you drink it, you'll never thirst again. You won't be dry in your soul again because you have the life of God flowing through your veins, right? And so if you think about it, this is such a cool analogy that God's going to be our water in the desert. He's going to be our path in the wilderness. When we think there's not a way, he's going to make a way. That's what's so cool about God. He is on it and he's practical. So whatever you're going through today, just remind yourself, God's on it. He already made the path through the Red Sea before they ever got there. It was laid when he set the foundations of the earth. He planned on parting the Red Sea. And he can do the same thing in our lives today, whether we're standing on the banks of a Red Sea and something's trying to press in from the back, or we find ourselves being persecuted, or we're having a struggle, or we're in the driest season of our life so far, or we're trying to navigate through all these little nooks and crannies of life, and we try to find ourselves on the other side. We'll try to work our way through the wilderness. God is practical. He will provide us what we need where we are, emotionally, spiritually, in our souls, right, in our minds. He's got it covered, and that's why we can trust him, and that's why we can peace out. Peace out. He's got whatever you need right now. He's got it covered. Have a great day. Join me tonight in Bible study if you'd like. The link's on my main Facebook wall, and I would love to see you there, love to study with you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.